Celebrating entrepreneurs and creativity. Talking business, pleasure, real life get together. Join us here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Creative Entrepreneurs Podcast. You know how we do it, where we look at turning creativity into careers and passion into profit. Before we go any further, I just want to shout out our amazing sponsors, Route 36, incredible marketing agency that has gone above and beyond with the production of the podcast. I couldn't ask for more, so please go and check Route 36 out. They are absolutely incredible. But today I am super excited to be joined by the one and only DJ Day Day,
my brother, you know,
slash entrepreneur, slash event organizer, slash host, slash just everything. Like, honestly, I am super pleased that he has decided to come on an episode for the Creative Entrepreneur, and we're going to have an amazing conversation.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me. You know what I mean? Like, and I love the intro. You better touch for that one. The intro there kind of gassed me up. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, true. I appreciate your hustle. You know what I mean? You've been hustling. I see what you're doing on Clubhouse, and you know what I mean? And I'm grateful to be on the podcast and share my journey and my story, which can hopefully help somebody else, because that's what we're here trying to do, innit? You know what I mean? So
of course, and I think it's important. We always hear that success leaves clues, and it really does. And if we can help, other up and coming entrepreneurs, specifically creative entrepreneurs, on their journeys, then it's job done. And I just hope that this content is something that would do that. I just want to, before we go any further, Day, like, what is your government name? Like, can you let us know? Can you tell the people?
The government. I don't know if I can tell them on the YouTube, but YouTube's a bit, it's a bit broad, But Day basically stems from my real name.
Okay.
You see, you find that one out.
You've got it like Devante or like
you can keep
Damien,
guessing,
it's
close.
Or like one of them, like
it's close.
Somewhere around there.
It's close, yeah. I don't. To be honest, you know what it is with me. I feel like obviously my government name, obviously people that know me know my. Do you know my government name?
No.
Okay, well after this I'm gonna tell you it. But like obviously people that know me, I like to let them know my government name. But everybody else, I'd rather them just call me Day, because I've been out before and I've had people just kind of know my name and just bawl out my name. Like I'll be walking to a club and I'll just bawl out my name, and I'm thinking, I don't really know you, like it's just a bit weird to me. You get me? Because. Yeah. Obviously, like how you have like an alter ego almost. Like, is your full name true, or do you have more to that?
There's more to it.
That's what I'm saying. Not too many people know the full thing. Like, I don't even know the full. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So if somebody was to say it, it's like it's a bit shocking. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. So I kind of like to keep it a bit separate. But I know it will obviously, people will obviously get to know my full name. Yeah. And as well, I'm going to be on. I don't know when it's going to be aired, but I'm going to be on TV soon. I was meant to be on TV. This was like maybe last year, but obviously COVID messed everything up. But and that I'm on the show on BBC One with my mum, and my full name's on there, so it will come out. Yeah. I'm not gonna just.
Wow, that's incredible. Like we'll speak a little bit about that if you can later on. In the show, but. Just coming back to Day, does your family kind of, your mom, your siblings, do they call you your Day, or do they call you your
I'll say government? A bit of both, really, to be honest. Yeah, a bit of both. It's either Day or my name. Like in my mom's phone, I'm saved as Day. You get me? My dad, obviously, he calls me Day. So yeah, it all just stemmed down, obviously, when I was younger, and I think I had like a younger sibling, and they couldn't say my name, so it was just Day, as a baby, and then it just kind of went from there. You get me?
Oh, so you've had it like from
back in the day. But obviously, you have your different nicknames when you're growing up, when you're in school. I tell you one thing. One of my nicknames from back in the day was Sniper. I don't know where I got the name from. I must have been playing too much Call of Duty or something. But that was obviously one of like the school nicknames. That was before Day, basically Sniper. That was like MySpace days and stuff. And then I kind of thought. I was getting into like DJing and stuff like that, and I thought I need a name. And then when you're thinking of and then I just thought it makes sense to just go with what my family and everything call me anyway, so I just went with that. But funny enough, I call myself Day, and I remember I think I don't even know how many years ago, maybe about 6 years ago now. Like I was thinking, like when I get older, is Day gonna sound a bit childish? Like you know what I mean? I was thinking, should I change my name? was thinking all different things, but then I said, you know what, let me just stick to what my family called me and whatever else, and it's just unique to me, you get me? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I love that. It's true to yourself. So just going back to like young Day, like talk to us about kind of your journey and how you became this, you know, international DJ superstar and entrepreneur, doing all these things. Was when you were young, did you have like people in business around you? Did you have any inspirational DJs that were coming up that you would look up to? Like, how did you, and I guess this is two parts, so how did you fall in love with music? And also, how did you, I guess, fall in love with the business side and the entrepreneurial side and think, actually, I want to monetize my passion?
Well, I say in terms of how did I fall in love with music and that kind of stuff, like, you know, way back when I was a child. Obviously, I've grew up in like a musical family. You know, going to like parties with my mum and stuff like that. Like, my mum's always been one to pull me onto the dance floor. So when you got like Luther Vandross and, you know, them two-stepping songs going on, your candies and that, mum, come on. So I'm on the dance floor, busting my two-step and stuff. That's why I love to dance and stuff like that as well. So I feel like music-wise, even I got an older sister, she's 5 years older than me, so she introduced me to a lot of like, you know, the music she was listening to, where it was garage, R&B, you know, your B2Ks and your Usher and stuff. So when I was young, that's what kind of music I was listening to. And then my cousin, he was also DJing. He's also about 5-6 years older than me, so he was, you know, DJing, doing like garage, playing vinyls and stuff like that. And I think I must have been I was in like primary school, but maybe in like year 6. I remember I was very young though. And whenever my mum would go to my auntie's, I would always go with her. And my cousin, you know, he was doing DJing. So same way how you might see me in my story with my nephew, like how he comes over and I'm teaching him. It's the same way how it's like it just went round in a circle. That was me when I was younger, going to my cousins. And he was teaching me and stuff. So I feel like that's the moment where I caught my interest in like music and DJing and stuff like that by just being with my cousin. And then being in secondary school, it was just random. Like, I think I was in year 9 and one of my PE teachers was doing a DJ course, like a 6-week DJ course, like a curriculum for the school. So I ended up getting involved in that because I was already interested in DJing. And the end of it, you know, the best student got to DJ at the end of year school party, which I was one of the best ones because I already kind of knew like the basics because I had learned already. And then I remember done the end of year school party, and these times like funky house. I grew up in like the funky house era, so I kind of missed. Like, I was still listening to like your bass line and stuff. I had a DJ EJ on my phone and stuff like that. But funky house is what I really grew up on. And I remember I played Tempety. I said, get out the car. I said, listen, I thought the hype one. Yeah. I remember all my friends, everybody going mad, everyone's jumping around. I'm looking, I couldn't believe it, you know. That's like the hairs on my skin went up, and I don't even think the Dexter could even wield it. I didn't even know about wheeling up on that, but I would have wheeled it if I could have, you get me? And I think that moment there, like I never forget that moment, you get me, where like I just couldn't believe what was going on, you get me? Like I'm thinking, bro, am I really like bringing so much happiness and joy to people just from playing this tune? And then I think from there, like that's what kind of stemmed the whole love for music and, you know, bringing joy to people through music and DJing. And then in terms of like the business side, obviously after that I kind of, you know, just I got like a DJ controller from my mum for Christmas, and I was just kind of teaching myself more with the DJing, and I started to create mixes and stuff and putting it online. And then, you know, my brand and people was getting more aware of my name. And mixes were getting hundreds of thousands of views. So I'm like, whoa, like just doing it as a hobby and doing it for fun, something that I enjoyed. And then, the business side, obviously, when I'm seeing that I can make money from it now, I'm getting booked and stuff. Like the first event that I got put on was my sister's event. She, her and her friend, does an event called Urban Slag, which is a straight lesbian and gay event. It's an open event. And she brought me through, like when I was younger, I was only 17, so I wasn't even old enough to even go into clubs. So I had to go to the club early, and she was sneaking me in and that, you know what I mean? But I was there. There's pictures on YouTube. I'm there with my headphones and my controller, and I'm practicing. Like I was doing this set where nobody was in the room, you get me? Like, and and then obviously I got booked in like Bamboo and, you know, more your towns spots and stuff, and I'm getting paid for it. I'm like, okay, so that's when the business side of it come in, like, oh, okay, I get paid for this now. And then eventually I'd done an event. 21st birthday was my first event. This was in 2015, I think. And obviously when you do an event, you obviously get quite a big amount of money in it because, you know, people paying their money. And then, I think from there it really stems still. When I started doing events and I'm seeing that I can get, 5-6 grand or whatever from doing an event, I'm like, rah, this is mad. So just kept pushing from there. So I would say that's the majority of the story. But we can go more in depth.
And you know what the thing that I admire about you, and because I obviously follow you, is that you're never content, and you're always doing like different things, and you're always trying different things as well. And actually, just for our listeners, just kind of let them know like what it is that you do, what you're doing now, and just like how much stuff that you're doing, because it's important.
I would say, well, with me, like I don't like to just box myself in and say I'm just a DJ. Although, like I kind of see my brand, I like to kind of picture it as like a spider diagram where you have the thing in the middle. So DJ Day Day, that's the brand. Like people would know me for being a DJ. After that, there's events management, there's hosting, there's content creation. I could even dabble into like modeling if I wanted to. There's different types of bits that I like to do. It's just just anything creative. I'm just a creative entrepreneur. You get me? Like I'll think of an idea. I'll have my laptop, I'll plan it out, and then, I'll work on executing it, and I'll execute it, whether it's, live streams. Like, in obviously the situation that we're in now, I notice a lot of DJs kind of just laid down and just, everybody was getting all depressed and that. Like, nah, man, it's time to start working now. Now you got to work harder, you know what I mean? So, I think I would just label myself as just an entrepreneur, DJ/entrepreneur, and yeah, man, everything that I can get involved in, I'll just go for it. You know what I mean?
So, in lockdown, like during lockdown, obviously you just mentioned it, and you said like now it's time to work. I seen you adapt to the situation quite rapidly, actually, and for me, it was really inspiring, actually, because not only did you adapt, you was building your brand in the process. How did you deal with lockdown, just for our listeners, and what steps did you take to pivot? And
I would say, how did I deal with it? I mean, like obviously, I do my events and stuff. So the lockdown happened around my birthday time, so I was meant to have an event there, which obviously would have been good. But I would just believe in, there's a lot of things in life you can't control in it, but what you can control is how you respond to it. So, you either respond to it and you just get all down and depressed and, this is, I don't even know if we can swear on there, but I'm not going to swear anyway. This is shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now I just thought, okay, cool, this is the situation. All right, what can I do now? Let's go to the live streams and do that stuff. Let's still bring entertainment for people and bring happiness to other people in it. And I think I'm quite good with like money and stuff anyway. So I had quite a lot of money saved and stuff like that. I'm not really someone that spends a lot of money on clothes and blah, blah, blah. So I was good in terms of financially. It was just more so something that I needed to just stimulate my brain and keep me moving. Because I'm not someone that just likes to just sit down and just do nothing, as you know. So I think with lockdown, it I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I liked that everybody was at the same pace. Like when I look at it now, I think, like everyone was actually moving kind of like full steam ahead, and it was just all steez, you know what I mean? Whereas it made everybody just at the same pace, and it allowed me to like learn more and do certain things that I might have wanted to do, but I probably didn't feel like I had time to do it. So I just enjoyed learning, doing different things, and it kind of forced me to be more innovative and creative, because when your back's against the wall, you have to kind of have to do something about it. You get what I'm saying? I kind of enjoyed it.
I enjoyed like the lives. I have to say, gave me life. Honestly, and I understand the power of music, and it's just a universal love language, and it just brought everybody together. And I think for me, DJs that gave up their time, and other people, because there was different creatives that were doing things in their own kind of individual way. So you had like comedians doing lives, you had like Judy Love doing her like quarantine date nights, and like for me during that lockdown period, the creatives stepped up and was like, right, we need to do something to bring some kind of joy to people's lives. And I would say that you were one of the leading players in that, in terms of just being consistent with the lives and just bringing people together virtually, which we never thought would happen. So I just want to thank you for that publicly on this platform, because
so good, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Although every week I was getting drunk up, and luckily my bed was just upstairs, you get me? But I remember I'd do the live, and on my lives I used to shut o'clock and then I'm like, why am all these shut o'clocks now? And then by the time the live lock off, I'm drunk, and then obviously I still live at home with mum and that, and my mum see me drunk, like, Mum, I'm drunk. But then luckily my bed's just upstairs, you get me? But the next morning, like every week, it was catching up on me, you get me? I'm like, nah, man, this is too much now. But because obviously I was doing it like every week for about 3 months, I think I was doing it for. So it was good, man. I enjoyed it.
Fun. It was good.
Just, bringing joy and happiness to people. That's what we do it for as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
So we kind of spoke a lot about your creativity and your creative side, and your love for music and DJing, and how that all happened, and equally, I believe that you're one of those entrepreneurs that not only highlight using your social media, your creativity and your creative side, but you also highlight a lot of the stuff that you do to make you a better entrepreneur, to make you a better business, to make you a better leader, to make and you can see. So one of the things that you do is do your weekly tasks. We never get to see what's actually written down in the weekly tasks, but we see and acknowledge that you write the week ahead and
the whiteboard
and that you're doing your plan. How important is kind of writing things down and getting it down on paper so you can see, and do you complete everything on the list? And
I don't complete everything. I try and complete most things. I think sometimes I might, like, even now on my whiteboard, like, there's things that I didn't do yesterday, but I'll try and play catch up, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's something I did yesterday, I'll try and do it today, and etc. like that. But man, I think it's important because you have to, especially if you want to keep moving forward, if you want to, you don't want to be stagnant, you just want to keep moving forward. I like to, when it comes to a Monday morning, I have to think, okay, what do I want to do, or what do I have planned for this week? Like this interview that we're doing now, if I didn't have it written down, I'd probably forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to have it visually there when I'm going to the barbers or whatever. It could be anything. I just have to have it visually there, so I know that these are the tasks that I'm doing on each day. And man, obviously just trying to, complete the tasks as much as you can. If you try and overload yourself with 10 things to do in one day, it can be overwhelming. So I like to try and do like 5 to 7 things. If you don't get it done, it's cool. At least you, like, I go by the saying, small steps, what was it? Small steps lead to like big wins, basically, you know what I mean? So even if you're just doing a little bit, at least that's more than doing nothing, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
it's like that book, what is it? The Compound Effect?
Compound Effect, man. So I just think, I feel like it's important because this is things based on when I left work as well, when I left Land Rover, I kind of was thinking, okay, what can I do in my free time? Like, I was writing stuff down from then. So I do think writing things down and visually seeing it kind of helps you to execute it, you know what I mean? Rather than it just being in your head. So that's my concept on that.
Yeah. So you just mentioned Land Rover, and you just mentioned that you was, an employee there. Talk to us about that life, and what was it, and what was that sparking point where you decided that you was no longer going to work for somebody else and you're going to work for yourself? Because I know a lot of our listeners will be in the situation where they may have a side hustle. I really don't like using the word side hustle because, but for example, may have a side hustle and they're probably in full-time employment at the moment and thinking, shall I or shan't I take that leap? And what was it that sparked you to kind of be like, actually, I'm writing my notice and I'm handing it in, and what was the process like, and how was you feeling about that? Was you nervous, scared? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. All right, the process of that, I would say, I was working in Land Rover for 4 years. I've only ever had 2 jobs. I left school. I started working at JD literally the day after prom. So I was in the real world or whatever, making money.
Everyone works at JD. JD or
I know, and
everyone works at JD.
And they always get the little 16-year-olds and pay them pennies or so. That's the joke thing.
JD,
I was getting paid.
JD, you need to sort it out. You need to start paying.
I don't have to pay them properly. I was getting paid £3.64 an hour. When I look at that, I'm like, wow, people ain't getting paid that now. But I feel like that, like I was still grateful that, yeah, man, I'm making money every week. I'm seeing money in my bank. I'm rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So obviously I worked there, then I went to Land Rover. I worked there from 16 to 19, then I went to Land Rover from 19 to when I was 23. And obviously, even when I was 16 and stuff, I was still doing my DJing and I was still making CDs and promoting myself and stuff like that all throughout. So by the time I was at Land Rover, I was still doing the same thing. You know, I was working from 1 till 9, but 1:30 till 9. I was on an afternoon shift. I could go to the gym after work. By the time I get home from gym, it would be like 10:30ish. And then say 10:30, 11, I then work till 3 o'clock. So that would be making mixes or whatever it is, downloading tunes, anything to do with that side hustle, that thing that I was working on, DJing and stuff. So that was my routine. Go to sleep at 3, wake up at 11, and it's just same old. Yeah. But like, I've never been one to just get home from work and I'm just gonna sit down and watch Netflix. And like, nah, I like to just keep moving and keep busy, you get me? So I feel like because I've done that, you know, over the space of the 4 years and, you know, prior to that as well, my brand was at a good point where, you know, I was doing events, I was getting paid, you know, good amount of money for my sets and stuff like that. And then the pivotal point was kind of like, basically those rumors going around in the workplace saying there's going to be a new shift pattern. So rather than me just doing afternoons, I would have had to do mornings, nights, afternoons. And it's like I would have had to work, like the nights is like 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. and stuff like that. So it would have jeopardized what I want to do in it, you know what I'm saying? It would have just mashed up my routine and everything. But there's rumors, so it wasn't actually confirmed. People in work was like, oh, Dede, what are you going to do if this happens? And I was just like, if it happens, then I'll just see what happens in it. I just have to go from there, you get me? And then there was a letter that was going around. The letter got put out, and the next 3 months, this is what's going to happen, rotational shift. So that was like, to me, okay, I believe in like signs, you get me? I'm like, okay, that must be a sign from God, you get me? So I got to start doing something now. Yeah. So then, at that point, my older cousin, he was very into, you know, personal development. This is what kind of led me into the personal development route and reading and stuff. So he told me about a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So then I started reading that.
Amazing book.
Yeah, man. It's proper. You know what the maddest thing is? I haven't even read the whole book yet. It's like I've read half of the book. But you know, sometimes when you're reading books, you might not actually be ready to take in certain information. Very true. So I got to like the part where it's talking about taxes, and I was thinking, I don't really want to read that. It's just you know, when you talk about taxes, a bit of a. So yeah, I've read half of the book, but that was all I needed. Like that just kind of opened my perspective in it. It made me realize, you know, I don't want to be just in the rat race and just working just to pay my, you know, my bills and blah blah blah.
I think that's the turning point for most entrepreneurs reading that book.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of entrepreneurs have read that book and was like, actually, I want something different from my life.
That's what I'm saying. It just shows the different perspectives in it. So yeah, that really opened my perspective. And then while I was at work, you know, this is when I also bought my notebook. So this is the first time I bought a notebook because I thought, okay, I need to start planning. Like, let me write down some stuff. So it was almost like a journal. I just bought a quick notebook from Poundland or something, and put my logos all over it on the front, made it personalized. And then, you know, I've done the spider diagram thing, like, okay, what can I do with my free time when I leave work? And then I'm putting, you know, DJing here and doing this and making music and blah, blah, blah. So it's just all about the planning. And I think when I got that book, it also allowed me to understand myself more, understand my brand, understand like, you know, what people probably expect from me or, you know, stuff like that. So that really helped. And I remember, like, you know, I was writing in my book and stuff because with the job that I was doing at Land Rover, I was actually working for DHL within Land Rover, and it was all up to be like delivering parts to the line and stuff like that. But I could work for say 25 minutes and I'd be chilling for like 20 minutes. That's how the job worked. So in them 20 minutes, I'll be reading or I'll be writing some stuff down. And people used to come up to me and say like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yo, I'm planning my way out. That's what I'm doing.
My exit strategy.
Yeah, like, people was like a bit fascinated, like, because they don't just see man reading book and like normally you're on your phone, like trying to hide away. But there's only so much of me on your phone, you get me? So he was basically planning my way out. Basically, and then, I was doing all of that. And then, you know, I remember saying to my mum, I said, Mum, like, I'm going to hand him my notice in it. So then I basically timed it that I would hand him my notice and I would only have to do like 1 week of like the night shift or whatever it was.
What was your mum like? Like, how was she supportive?
Yeah, mum's very supportive. Mum was like, yeah, man, like, you know, if you feel like it's the right time and you feel like you want to do it, then like I'm supporting you, like go with it, you know what I mean? my mum's always supportive of everything I do, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So yeah,
I think
I love
it's
that.
so important to have like supportive parents, and you know, my mum is supportive, but she still probably couldn't tell you what I do.
Yeah.
It's just one of those like, what do you do again? And
I think it's because obviously it's the older generation. All they know was, you know, work, go to school, college, uni, the best jobs of being a doctor or a lawyer, and you just work and that's it.
Yeah.
But now we're in the age where, you know, you do have creatives and entrepreneurs, and we have the online business, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Everybody's.
It's true, and partly because I have it doesn't help it, but I have a twin brother, and he's like an assistant.
Used to look exactly the same, so you know, I can't believe it. You know, it's ridiculous.
And he's like an assistant head in a school, and like so to my mum, that's like the respectable job. That's like, look how amazing, you know, your brother's doing. I'm like, Mum, we probably earn similar money. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like, she sees that as like the traditional
traditional
way to make money, and and sometimes when, you know, particularly creatives, when they want to pursue their creativity and make a business out of it, I know that a lot of parents ain't as supportive as they could be, and partly because a lot of they would see their creativity as a hobby, and that's something that we need to try and, you know, break out of. Because even like I always say to my mum, like if she was like invested in our talent, like me and my brother we used to sing, not so good now.
Yeah,
but
I see the vocals on the story and that.
and we used to can move a little bit. I mean, before our knees got old, and but I was like, Mum, if you like invested in us and if you like pushed it, we're probably like huge, like Usher or something. Do you know what I mean? But
I do hear that.
She's seen it as a hobby, no fault of her own. She's just seen us singing and dancing as a hobby, and not something that we could potentially monetize. That happened to somebody else, but not her kids, because we're not, you know, we're not that fortunate enough. And actually, all it needs is a bit of luck and a bit of business structures around,
definitely
around it to monetize it. But I think it's so important to have like really supportive like a family and parents, and I'm glad that
I think obviously with my mum, like, you know, she was seeing that I was flying to this country and doing shows here and doing up tour with Mist and in front of this amount of people and etc. So she's seen the evidence to say, okay, yo, like my son's actually doing this, and this DJ and stuff's actually taking in places or whatever. So like, yeah, I'm supportive of it, you get me? And I remember saying to her as well, which like one of the quotes, I think Steve Harvey says it, but he says your gift will take you further than education. And my mum she just subconsciously just knows that, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I do believe that, man. So yeah, she was very supportive of me. And going back to the story, I handed in my notice, and yeah, man, I remember like I handed in my notice, I think it was on a Thursday. So bear in mind, I asked my supervisor, I said, how long is the notice period? She said, it's 4 weeks. So I've handed it in. And then the following Thursday, they come back to me and said, here's a letter of resignation, blah, blah, blah. Just sign it off to say you're leaving. I'm like, cool. So then when the supervisor walked off, now I was reading the letter, now I'm reading it, and it says, something, your last day is going to be on Friday or something, which is the next day. So I'm looking like, hey, the next day? I think I only gave him a notice last week. What's going on here? So then I went up to the office now. I said to the manager, what's going on? Because like, this is my last day is tomorrow, like. And then he says, because you've been here for X amount of years, you only need to give 1 week's notice. So then I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, but obviously I said to the supervisor, like, how long's the notice period? He said 4 weeks. And then he said, no, it's only 1 week. So I was like, I'm gonna leave it tomorrow. And he was like, yeah, like, you leave it tomorrow. And I was in the office, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know, like the emotions, I was thinking, wow, like, I'm actually leaving. Like, I'm gonna be in the world, you get me? But I didn't feel like scared or anything like that or worried, because I already was doing reading. I kind of, my mindset felt like I was ready for it. I was writing down my plans and stuff like that. If I didn't do that, then I would have been like, oh shit, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But that's why I do think like planning is important in it, because what they also say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I remember, you know, I went downstairs and I had to tell all the man them and say, yo, I'm leaving tomorrow, you know, and I was like, I can't believe it. And then obviously the next day I had to bring my cakes in and all of that stuff. And yeah, man, and then, you know, when I left, I remember I just walked out the building, I just looked at the world and I said, yo, I'm in the world now, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, man, and then, from there, you know, it's just leaving work, you know, I had to try and get into a routine, you know, a routine where I'm waking up and times that I'm working and times that I'm going to the gym and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it's a crazy journey, you know what I mean? Yeah, but obviously I was a bit, when I was leading up to leaving, I was a bit worried and a bit like, what if it, don't go? But then I thought, I'm still young, I still live with my parents, like I don't have much overheads in terms of things I have to pay for. Worst gets to worst, I'll just get another job in it. Like it's not that serious, but now it's like that's not even an option.
So was you 23 when you left?
Yeah, 23. Yeah. I'm 27 now, so I've been it's gonna be 4 years this year in June.
Wow,
that's incredible. Yeah, it's good, man.
That's incredible. So over the last few years where you've been kind of doing your thing and working for yourself and just being that entrepreneur, what would you say your biggest challenges were, or was there a breaking point? Was there a time where you just felt, forget this, I'm going back to work? Like, because I think that most entrepreneurs get to a point where they're just like, did I make the right decision? Like, so what was yours?
I think with me, like, yeah, man, I can't see myself going back to work. I'll be honest. That's like kind of what drives me now. I just love the freedom of being able to do what I can do. If I was working, I wouldn't be able to be sitting here with you now. You get me? But I would say, yeah, man, I think it's just more so getting into a routine. Because the thing is, when you leave work, you're in your work of 8 hours a day or whatever, and whether you're working after that or you're chilling, it's just getting back into the routine and actually motivating yourself every day to continue working in it and moving forward. That's why I do things like my whiteboard, and I'll be trying to read and just learn, always trying to learn as well. So in terms of like struggles, yeah, I would say it's mainly the routines really, and just sticking to the routines and just always pushing forward and progressing, and trying to make use of every opportunity that comes to you as well. Like obviously there's this, which I'm grateful for being on here. I also had a girl email me saying that she's doing something to do with like a uni project or something like that, and she wanted to get me involved. So I'm just trying to just do little things that, everything just helps, you know what I mean? Every little bit of, say, publicity or any opportunities that come, just acting on the opportunities as well. Because I was also reading another book, which is the recent one that I'm reading, The Richest Man in Babylon. And have you read it?
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for it, because like I got told about it, but then when I was reading it, it was, it's old English. It's got thou and thee and thus and all of this, and I'm thinking, what's all these words mean? So I had to Google it, but when I've Googled it and I understood what they mean, I can just read it proper. But one of the things it says in there, it says about people think that good luck, like good luck is it could be outside and you find £10 on the floor, you find a wallet or whatever. That's 9 out of 10 good luck chance that you're gonna get that. But then really good luck is like opportunity. So opportunities are gonna rise for everybody. You're gonna have some kind of email or message or something happening, and then you have to basically acknowledge that opportunity and take action on it. When you take action on it, like, that's when people are essentially going to say, you got lucky or whatever. But really, there's an opportunity and you just took action and you just went full steam ahead on that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's...
It's a little bit like the 10X rule from, Grant Cardone. He always, in that book, he speaks about kind of when opportunities come, be ready and take action and, go for it. So, yeah, that makes sense. But we spoke a little bit earlier around your opportunity with BBC. Can you talk about that show, or was it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think I did. This was like 2 years ago that I'd done this now, maybe. No, actually, it was 2020. But yeah, I think we did kind of sign some kind of non-closure. I can't say what show it was, but it was like a game show basically on BBC One. And that happened because basically they emailed me. This says, we come across your profile, etc. We want to get you involved. And basically, I can tell you how I got onto the show. So to enter the show, I had to basically do a prank on my mum in it. And I already done this before though, because at one point I was doing YouTube and I was doing vlogs and stuff like that. And I pranked my mum. This was from my YouTube. I bought a scratch card, like a fake scratch card on Amazon, and you win 250,000. So then I remember mum saying, mum, can you go to, my mum saying, Dave, can you go to the shop and get me blah, blah. I was like, yeah, cool. Then I pretended that I bought the scratch card. I scratched it in my room. I done it all for the YouTube, you get me? And I said, look, mum, we won 250,000. I go, no, I just couldn't believe it. Like, let me phone your sister. But she was like, let's just stay calm, let's stay calm. And then it got a bit, because obviously it was dragging. I said, what? I said, Mom, it's a prank. And she's like, no. But obviously my mom's lovely. She wasn't like, going mad on it. But because I've already pranked her, I thought, I was like, yeah, man, I can prank her again. That's all right. So then it was just kind of like a fun prank, really. So it's more to do with, I basically had to say to my mom, I lost my passport. And can you pick it up for me from this place? And this certain place was somewhere where they was doing pranks. It looked similar to this place, really. So imagine, my mom pulled up here. She walked in the door. There's a receptionist or whatever, and then the receptionist is, certain things just happened. There's random things that will just happen, like something dropped, and then it kind of just little random kind of pranks, really. But I was a bit worried because I didn't know what kind of pranks was gonna happen. I was thinking, I hope they don't open the door and then my mom gets beans all over her or something. You get it? Because then it's like she would be very pissed off. You get me? But it wasn't nothing like that. It was just little fun, quirky pranks and stuff, and that basically got me onto the show. So yeah, man, it's sick.
Amazing. Amazing. So everybody knows that I am, somebody who is very passionate about personal branding and being visible and showing up how you want to be seen in the world. So you just mentioned obviously that the producers saw your videos and your social media and so forth and was interested. How important would you say kind of personal branding is, being a entrepreneur and being in business?
Yeah, I think very important, man. You got to kind of, your brand has to represent something. You have to have values. People need to be able to, I see personal branding as like, you put a story on your Instagram and question story and say, how would you describe me in 3 words? That's basically going to determine your brand or your personal brand. If I put that up, people are going to say good vibes, good energy, funny, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? People are going to describe me like that. So I always try and, just fall in line with my personal brand and just kind of showcase what I represent, which is, I like to help and motivate people. I like to learn myself in it. So things that I learn, I'll then pass it on to others and just bring good vibes to people through music or, I've done many things. Like, I don't even know if you remember, but on my Instagram, I was doing like almost personality comedy kind of videos and stuff. But that's because I found people liked my personality. Like when I was just being myself and doing mad stuff on my story and stuff, I used to get loads of like responses. And then I thought, let me try and pull it on my page and stuff. So I feel like your personal branding is definitely important. And just the best way to find out your personal brand is literally asking the story on your question. If you could describe me in 3 words, how would you describe me? Then you'll find out what your own personal brand is.
That's incredible and so simple.
Simple.
Honestly, people go and do that now.
Like if you used to do it, people will say inspiring, motivational. That's what I believe people will say about you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
trust me. That's what will happen, bro. Like, and it's important. I mean, if people do respond to, and there might be certain things that you think, like, is that how you actually see me? Then maybe it might be time to kind of switch the way that you approach things, or if you're somebody that always uploads like, not even negative posts, but like on this story or something, or you're reposting drama and stuff like that. Like people don't want to see that. Like you know what I'm saying?
It's true. Because I've stopped following a few negative Nancy's.
I'm due to do that.
I was just like, no, I can't have that energy.
Serious
in my space.
I was saying this the other day to one of my friends, man. Like I'll be honest, man. Even some girls I need to unfollow, man. Like I'm seeing these half naked pictures. I'm like, come on, man. I don't want to see it. Like,
do better.
It's too much, man. I just mean, But that's a whole next conversation.
So we've covered a lot. I just want to speak to you a little bit around TikTok.
Oh yeah,
because you decided that you was going to create a TikTok account during lockdown, and your growth on TikTok has been exponential. Like it's been amazing. Like what's your numbers now?
I think it's 203,000 followers, 3,000 likes. I think it is something like that. So
wow.
Yes, it's going big, man. That was just based on posting every day for about 3 months. And I originally started TikTok because I was doing videos on my Instagram that was almost like I said, the personality type ones, that's a whole next story, because I was doing it on my Instagram, and then I kind of looked at my profile and I thought, if people was to look, if you didn't know me, you looked at my profile, I look like a comedian or something. Like when you have like the post and you have like the text at the top, and
yeah.
I was doing more I wouldn't even like to say comedian because I know I'm not a comedian, but more personality. And then I thought, nah, let me keep my Instagram DJ based and things that people know me for, and then maybe do that kind of stuff on TikTok because it's more of a fun app. And then I just thought, I got to a stage where I just couldn't think of any more creative ideas, more personality type ideas. And I thought, why not just do DJ videos? Because like that's what people know me for, and I can do loads. Because obviously, look how much music's out there in the world. And I started doing that. Started posting every day. Like I picked one day basically which is Tuesday, which is about my content creation day. Basically, make 7 videos in a day. Upload it, obviously, one a day at a certain time, 7:30. And then, it just kind of grew from there, really. Like, the first video uploaded, it had quite a lot of views, like maybe like 50,000 views, I think it reached. So that made me say, okay, all right, I want to keep doing these now because it's working, innit? And, man, just kept pushing it out there to the point where I think I've made 200 videos. Obviously, I'm on 203,000.
Wow. And,
I feel like it's good because my Instagram's also attached to my TikTok, and my Instagram's always growing. Basically, like even if I haven't posted on my story or posted on my page for probably a week now, but like a lot of times you can lose followers and stuff. But my page is always growing. There's people messaging me from parts of the world that I don't even know. Like I can't even pronounce. I can't even pronounce these places. So it's just amazing. You get me? Like it's just mad that I'm bringing good vibes to people worldwide.
Sierra picked up one of your TikTok
mixes
videos.
Yeah, Sierra. Wow. That one was crazy as well because with that, it's like I didn't even know that she posted it. Someone that follows me, one of the supporters, sent me the video which was on Sierra's Instagram page because she must have knew that it was my sound that she was using. So I was like, bro, that's crazy. Sierra and Vanessa Bryant, who's Kobe Bryant's wife, innit? To me, like, obviously, Sierra's like, she's like R&B, like she's, that's like one of the artists that my sister was listening to, like I said. So grew up listening to her as well. But because I like to play basketball as well, the Kobe Bryant's wife, that was kind of like, rah, that's bad. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
But with that though, I went on her TikTok, Sierra's TikTok, and she used my sound, but she basically took the sound and kind of reposted it as her own. So I was thinking, you could have just used my sound.
Did you call her out on it?
Nah, I didn't call her out.
I would have called her out.
You know what it is?
You do know that's fine. Like.
Nah, to be fair, like on the Instagram post, I basically just put something like my sound and with the hands up or something. But I was just grateful for that. Yeah, man, like they found the sound. And if you downloaded the video, you basically had my face on your phone and it. So like, I'm gassing that at least. I don't really mind. So, man, and just the fact that they was vibing to it, it just made me, it was just like a present from God to say, man, I see you working, son. Go take this on. You get me?
And you know what it is? Those kind of sporadic, kind of wins that you just think, wow, like what I'm doing is reaching people and
it made me think as well, like if I didn't even know that she posted it and the girl sent it me, only one person sent me that video, so I wouldn't have known. So then it makes me think how many other people are using my sounds. You get me? Like how many other people might be listening to my mixes, like that, like
So it's crazy because the girl who sent it to you obviously knows your stuff because she recognized straight away that it was your sound. Like, I would never have known. Like I would have just been like, oh, it's another 90s
mix or whatever else,
mix or whatever it was.
She obviously must use. She's probably done a video to herself or something like. Because in the mix, it doesn't even say like DJ Data or anything. I'm guessing she obviously just has TikTok and she probably commented on that video and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like so that was crazy, mad. Man. But TikTok it's an amazing app. It's like it's actually really good. I haven't been posted on there as much as what I used to. Only because, I don't know, sometimes I get a bit of a creative block. Like, because I've posted so much videos now, 200 videos. I'm like, okay, what can I do now? You get me? Like, I'm just trying to find different ways to do it. So, man, it's good though. Cool. I'm due to get you on TikTok, by the way. I'm due, it's coming.
You know what? I have signed up to TikTok. I've probably got like 2 followers.
Nah, don't worry, man. I'm gonna give you the rundown.
I do need to build up my following, but you kind of mentioned earlier that you play basketball, and I think it's important for entrepreneurs to have an outlet. How important do you think it is for you to have an outlet and for your downtime and what else do you do for downtime or are you just constantly on the go?
Yeah, I would say like I enjoy playing basketball. I used to play basketball when I was in school. And yeah, it's just something that I try and do maybe once a week because, you know, as a creative entrepreneur and somebody that's just always trying to achieve their goals and stuff like that, you know, you often can just get caught up in just working. And, you know, you'll be working like basically most of your day basically, innit? Like, you know what I mean? So I do think once a week it's always trying good to do something that you consider as fun. For me, it's like basketball, or I might go on a bike ride, or I might even go on a walk. Like these days I like to be going on walks. I enjoy like nature and stuff like that. You get me? Like, yeah, man, it's good. Like I just spend time with my family or my mum or something, you know what I mean? Like I'm on one of them ones. But the main source of like out work, or I can't remember the word that you used, but the way that I kind of detach is, probably through like basketball and stuff like that. Really, I could be in the courts for ages. I just love being there. So.
And there is a thing, and it's scientific stuff, but it's all about kind of that physical, like physical being out. So that's why the gym's so important to people for their outlet, and you know, playing some kind of sport and stuff like that, because it releases those, you know, endorphins and
that's what I'm saying. Like even sometimes if I feel like I've had like quite a long day, or I've just been sitting on my laptop doing something, I just feel like, let me go to the courts and let's play one. Like when I reach where I'm trying to reach, I have to have a basketball court in my yard. You get it? Not like just a way to just unleash and just take your mind.
Is that on the vision board?
It's on there, man. It's on there. Yeah, man. And 100%, you definitely have something that you can just, you know, detach from the world and everything, and just do something that, you know, it's a bit of fun, and you can just enjoy that at the moment, like be present, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
So what's next for Day Day? I mean, you've achieved so much. You've done DJing at some major events, and you know, for some major people and artists. You've had events, you've hosted stuff. You're growing a massive following. Your brand is taking off.
Yep.
Like what's next? Like, what do you think is
I think it's smart, because I've done a lot, but then I still know there's a lot to come, you know what I mean? I still don't feel like I've kind of, like in terms of like DJing across the UK, like I'm very much like Birmingham / Midlands. Like I'm trying to get more into London scene, and you know, all around the UK. I want to be in a tour bus. In my tour bus, I got Munchies, I have my family there and my friends, and you know, we play. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be on a tour bus going around the whole of the UK, headline DJ. I'm there at the top, at the front. I want to be on like festivals, wireless and stuff like that. Even doing like music production. You know, I've actually made music myself. Like I made like 2 songs. That was just a spontaneous one, because like, you know, when I was with my friends and stuff, I don't meet up with my friends as much as what I used to, because you know, that's how it goes. You know, every day, you know, you've been meeting up with your friends every other day, but we used to just freestyle and stuff, put on a beat and just freestyle. And then I thought, you know what, let me see if I can make a tune. That was spontaneous. But when I do get back into like music, it'll be more music production, almost like a DJ Khaled in it. So I want to get into that kind of stuff, because as we know, music is powerful. It's also a way to create obviously passive income by stream revenues and stuff like that. I'd also say One Extra, BBC One Extra is something that I'm manifesting. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not even a if, it's a when. You know what I'm saying?
But
so
you've done like a guest mix for.
I've done a few guest mixes. I got another one coming up as well. To be fair.
So what do we have to do to make that happen? Like,
I think that's just patience, man, and patience, and obviously just staying on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been speaking to the head of One Extra, and I'm manifesting it. It's gonna come, because I always see it as. Like, I know One Extra are looking for DJs and presenters and stuff outside of London, and they want to expand obviously the listeners, innit? And when I look at it, if you look at like my generation or whatever of DJs, there's nobody else other than me that would be perfect for that role from Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I see. So I'm the one that's gonna do it. So to make it happen, I've been speaking to the head of One Extra, man, and he likes me and stuff. And like it's mad, because I'm doing like a mix series or something at the moment, innit? And you know, I think it was on a Saturday, one of the producers sent me the brief and says, this is the mix. It's a R&B and soul mix, basically the history of R&B and soul, so taking you back to Motown and taking you back from like the 60s to currently, basically. They sent me the brief on the Saturday, and it says, we need the mix by the Friday. Now, obviously, when you do a mix, you have to understand the brief, I have to dissect it, I have to then download songs that I don't have, make sure it's clean versions. Then obviously when I make a mix, it's like, you know, doing a playlist, and then you do the mix and stuff. So it's a decent amount of time, but you know what I mean? Like, I felt like those kind of challenged me. So I'm saying, you know, I'll just be there by myself. Like, don't want to challenge me. I say, I don't think you know who I am. You know, like you can't challenge me. You know, what actually you can't challenge me. So then by the time it come Tuesday, the mix done, sent off, and the man was like, yo, I can't believe you done the mix already. I said, you can't challenge me. Like, so just things like that. Just showing them
it's gonna
that
happen.
I'm hungry, I'm ready, like, you know what I'm saying? Anything you throw at me, I'm ready.
One extra, you've got 12 months.
You know what I mean?
12 months,
so what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, there's that. There's, obviously, you know the project that I'm working on. By the time this podcast comes out, I might have it rolling, but I don't really like to tell them too much because some people might try to jump on it and try to do it. But obviously, I'm working on that project, which is going to help people and stuff like that. And that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to come, and even obviously internationally, because when I say internationally, like worldwide, I've never been to America, but when I do like my mixes and especially the dancehall mixes on TikTok, I have a lot of people commenting saying, oh yeah, man, I know about these tunes because I'm from New York. I grew up in New York, Brooklyn, and blah, blah, blah. So I want to go to New York or go to America and DJ out there. I feel like with my kind of style of playing like R&B, hip hop, dancehall, and that kind of, that's what I would say I was specifying. Over there would work perfectly. So yeah, man, that's the main things at the moment.
Cool. Day, that was an incredible conversation. Honestly, what you've achieved and what you still continue to achieve is amazing. And just the fact that you're such an amazing creative, but you obviously recognise the importance of the business side of it, and you have learnt the art of monetizing your talent.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just think is really incredible, and the content I know is going to give a lot of people value, particularly those who are, it maybe was in the same situation as you, being a DJ and kind of having to leave that safety net of full-time employment and, you know, venturing out on your own and just surviving and hustling and doing it and trying different things and being creative. So thank you honestly for coming on to the show.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I enjoy these conversations. I could, you know what I'm saying? I could keep going. Let's go.
Before we leave, we do this thing here where we do a 10 in 10. We think it's important that people realize who they've been, you know, listening to, and, you know, entrepreneurs are people. And I just want to know a little bit more about you. So where I ask 10 questions, it's one or the other, and you get like 2 seconds to answer it. Like there's no thinking.
All right, that's cool.
Like
so quick fire.
Yeah, just quick fire questions.
All right, that's
cool. So Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Oh, okay. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
Oh. Audi or BMW?
Audi.
Rush Hour or Bad Boys?
Bad Boys.
KFC or McDonald's?
KFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
McDonald's. Oh, wow. ASOS or Boohoo Man?
Boohoo Man.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar?
J. Cole.
Really?
For me personally.
TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram. I'm gonna say Instagram. That's the base.
And the last one, podcast or books?
Books. It's gotta be books, you know. Yeah. It's gotta be books, you know, for me. Like, truly disappointed. It's like, to be fair, it's books for me as well. But podcast is on the rise. Oh yeah, 100%. So
like, I think there's going to be a lot of content, and you know, in the audio space, particularly, you know, we've got audio books as well. But
I think, I think. Like that's a hard one because I really both, because on my way here I was listening to a podcast. Podcasts and even audio books obviously good when you're on the move, and you can't read a book while you're moving around and stuff. So, but I feel like books it helps with your mindfulness, you know, like that. Like when you're sitting down, you're actually reading it and you're taking time out and you're highlighting and stuff. But
and just on that note, what's the one book that you would recommend for listeners to read?
The one book, let me think. The one book I'd recommend. For me personally, obviously this is kind of DJ related, but DJ Khaled his book was good. You don't even necessarily have to be a DJ to read it. Obviously he's based around that kind of concept, but you know, he's all about keys and positivity and stuff like that. So that book was good. I've read that probably about 3 times.
Wow.
What to say? Another one? I would say obviously the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is kind of a common one that people always say. But if you start enough and you want to get into personal development or anything like that, then read that. What other book would I say? They're the main ones, I think, at the moment. Yeah. The main ones. What about yourself?
Oh, there's so many books. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad is an amazing book. The Millionaire Fast Lane, I absolutely love.
I want to read.
Changed my mind.
I'm going to read Stephen Bartlett's one.
Oh yeah.
Happy Sexy Millionaire.
Yeah. I'm halfway through it. It's a really good.
That
book.
one looks good.
Yeah,
You know, I've seen the reposts and I'm seeing the quotes and stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, this
yeah.
looks like a bit of me still.
It's a really, really good book. I'm really enjoying it at the minute.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
yeah,
But man.
Yeah, lovely. Day. Thank you so much for coming through. Honestly, I appreciate it. And
So good, man. I appreciate it.
wishing you all the luck in the future. And I know anything that you put your mind to, you're going to do anyway. And you're going to be
definitely.
a beast at it. But yeah,
Thank you.
man, from
Appreciate
the
it,
show
man.
to you, good luck.
Let's go. You too, my brother. You know what I mean? Don't stop. Don't stop, baby. Just see.
All right, wicked. Thank you.
Respect.
Talking business, pleasure, real life get together. Join us here.